Hi students, this is the video of list part 4. We're going to talk about changing values in a list with indexes. So you know very well that if I want to create, let's say, girl list. I want to create this girls list and I'm going to assign to this variable a list. And let's say the name of the girls, Nicole, and after that comma, Michelle, after a comma, and by mistake I added a boy name, David, comma, and after that Sahara. And I close the list. So right away when I'm writing like that, if I ask girl list, it's gonna return the same list for me. But if I want to fix that the David is not correct, this is not the correct name, and let's say I want to add Natalie instead of David, all I have to do is what? To say girls list, and I assign the index of David, which is 0, 1, 2. That means I'm going to add 2 here, and I can replace it by Natalie. Let's see how it's going to be with Python. So if I go to Python and I open the shell, and I do the same thing, girls list, I assign to the girl list the list that I have here, and forget this is should be square bracket, so I add Nicole, after that comma Michelle, comma, and here by mistake I end with David, comma Sahara, and I close my list. In this case, if I ask for this list, girls list, and I click enter, it's gonna give me the list with the mistake, which is David with them. But now if I want to fix this one, so I'm gonna say girls list, and I'm gonna show which index exactly. So Nicole is 0, Michelle 1, David 2, so that means 2, and I'm gonna assign Natalie to this list, and I click enter. Now when I ask for girls list, it changed Natalie with David right away. So this is something very powerful in Python, that I can use the index to change whatever I want, and with this way I can fix my list. For sure, if I want to, let's say, change Nicole, the first one, with Natalie again, I can do it with this way. I can say girls list, take index 0, and index 0, you know here that it's Nicole, assign to this one girls list, the index number 2. That means what? That means take Natalie in girls list 2, assign it to girls list 0, Nicole. So that means I'm gonna see after this, I'm gonna see Natalie, Michelle, Natalie, Sahara. So now let's see girls list, Natalie, Michelle, Natalie, Sahara, because I asked to remove Nicole and replace it with the value that it's in index 2 in girls list. So this is how I can change the value in a list using the index. Let's see something else. List concatenation and list replication. This is very powerful for one reason. I can do a lot of stuff using a code by concatenating two lists, for example, or any new value to a list. So let's say I have list 1, and in this list 1 I'm gonna assign, let's say, numbers like 1, 2 and 3, and here I'm gonna ask for list 1 to make sure that it's correct. So I see 1, 2, 3 as values of this list. Let's say I'm gonna create list 2, and I'm gonna assign this time to the list 2 string like A, comma, B, comma, and C with capital letters, let's say, and I close the list. Now, if I want to concatenate this 2 in one list, so if I can create list 3, and I can assign to list 3 list 1 and list 2. Is it possible? Like, let's say to say list 1 concatenate with list 2. Let's see how we're gonna find list 3 at the end. What will be the result? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. It concatenate the two lists together in one new list. What about if I want to replicate? So let's say I want to get list 4 and assign to list 4 list 1 and I time it by 3. So that means take list 1, replicate it 3 times, assign it to list 4. So now when I type list 4, I will see the result. 1, 2, 3, this is one time. 1, 2, 3, this is second time. 1, 2, 3, this is for a third time. And this is how we can concatenate and replicate lists together. Perfect. What about removing values from list? If I did a mistake and I want to remove, let's say, a value. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a student list, let's say. And I'm going to assign to this student list, let's say, David. After that, I'm going to say Termin. After that, I'm going to add, let's say, Natasha. And I'm going to add at the end, let's say, Martin. And I noticed that I did a mistake, that Natasha, she is a girl and this list is for boys only, and I want to delete Natasha. So how can I do this thing? It's very simple to create del, and here del, this is for delete. So del space, and I take student list, and I'm telling this list delete the value of index here 0, 1 and 2, so 2 in this case. So let's try this thing, and actually I can use whatever I have here. Let's say I have girls list Natalie, Michelle, Natalie, Sahara. Let's say I want to remove Sahara. Sahara where? It's 0, 1, 2, 3, index 3. So if I'm saying del, and after that this list called girls list, and the index is 3. With this way, as soon as you click enter, it's done. So now when I ask for girls list, it's gonna return Natalie, Michelle, Natalie only without Sahara. So let's try it and see the result. Here we go, Natalie, Michelle, Natalie without Sahara. Why? Because I asked to delete this value in index number, let's say 3, and so on. If I want to delete Natalie at the beginning, so index 0, and keep Michelle and Natalie only, I can do the same thing, del girls list, and I open the bracket 0 bracket. That means remove the value in index 0, done. It's gonna give me Michelle and Natalie for sure next time. So girls list, here we go, Michelle and Natalie. I hope you understood how to delete, how to add using the index, how to replace a value without doing any delete, only switch from name to name. And we saw also how to concatenate and how to replicate any list. I hope you understood the lesson, and let's practice a little bit with what we learned today. Thank you for listening.